Ooh, hello everyone. Welcome to BayernNow, the ultimate Bayern Munich fan channel. I'm here with Gabriel Veron, the greatest Brazilian player of all. Nah, but seriously, Filippo from Tactical Manager TV. He was telling me about Chris Richards and why he thinks he's the next Paulo Maldini and just everything that Chris Richards has. Bayern Munich's American Wonderkid. Christian Pulisic is just scratching his head right now because his legacy is getting tarnished by Chris Richards. He's going to be the greatest American player of all time. But welcome to the channel again. We made a video. Everyone got mad. They all got in their feelings. But yeah, how you feeling?
Feeling good, and I'm glad to be back here. And last time I wore a Bayern jersey because I was afraid of the backlash because I was telling everyone Dortmund was going to win the movie. So this time, I don't care. I'm wearing America jersey because I don't care anymore.
Okay.
Love me or hate me, guys.
Right. So Chris Richards, I mean, you know a lot about him. You've been researching him. He's going to make a video. Go subscribe to his channel. But at the end of the video, he's going to tell us a lot more about where he thinks Richards will end up in his career. But as a player, I mean, what are your thoughts on him initially? Just looking at him, what do you think he can do for us? Get to that next level. What are you looking at?
Okay, so I've been looking up Chris Richards for a while because of the U.S. men's national team, and because not trying to kiss ass here, but because Bayern is an interesting team to look into, the players.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Okay, I need to be nice to you guys here. But the thing of Chris Richards here is, what can he bring to Bayern? The first thing he can bring is something you guys already saw. He's versatile, kind of like what Pavard was. He can play center back and right back, which is a pretty big deal, especially the way Bayern's roster is designed. Like they had Kimmich that could play right back. And so it's important to have players like that. So that's the first thing he brings to the table. Chris Richards is American. He was born in Alabama. I believe he's 20 years old right now. He's a tall player. He's a tall player.
I thought he was 22, man. I can't lie.
No,
I thought he was 22.
Young.
Yeah, 20. And
he's young. He has about, to the British viewers, everyone that uses the metric system, he's 1.90, 1.89, something like that. Right?
6'2". You and I say 6'2".
He's a tall player. He's a tall player. He's pacey, very pacey too. But he's just getting started. And the thing is, he's American. And like many American players, one thing they have is they have a lot of tactical discipline. That's something you see from Pulisic. Maybe less from Giovanni Reina.
I know what you mean.
Tactically, they're very disciplined of what the coach says. So the coach wants him to play there and do this and that. They do it. They're different from Brazilian players where the coach tells them to play left wing and all of a sudden
they're out there partying. Yeah.
And they're out there partying.
Neymar, get yourself fit. We're playing Man United, Champions League quarterfinals, and he's in Brazil having a birthday party.
Carnival.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But I know what you mean. The tactical versatility, the discipline.
Essentially, that's what Chris Richards brings. Is he ready to start for Bayern? Absolutely not, because Bayern holds their players to a very high standard.
Right.
So you guys had Pavard, which is a World Cup champion. Kimmich, one of the best in the world in his position, in two positions, actually. So he's not ready to start for Bayern. But I was even talked to Bayern fans a lot, believe it or not, and it's not just you. I talked to Bayern fans. And when I was talking to them, one of the things he pointed out is this. Flick, did I not say it? Flick?
Hansi Flick.
I don't know if there's a German accent. People picked on me on that too. So I got kind of like PTSD from that, just like everyone bothered me. So the whole thing with it is he might play Pavard a little bit as center back a couple times, and that can open some space for Chris Richards to play a little bit as a right back. That can give
on that, I'll tell you this: Chris Richards, when he played versus Hertha Berlin, bro, he was involved in all three goals. The offside goal, he got an assist from right back. He was involved, man. His crossing was unplayable. The first goal Lewandowski scored, it was his cross, Lewandowski's header, great save from the goalkeeper. Went back to Gnabry, he crossed it in. And that started from Chris Richards, though. He showed that.
Didn't he get an assist that the goal got?
Disallowed. Thomas Müller was offside. Yeah, but he still got an assist. So from a good cross too. So I'd say, you know what, he might not be able to start week in, week out. I know what you mean, but he's definitely able to play. He's already very, very competent.
Well, and the thing is, you point out qualities on offense, while his main quality is defense. So
that's true.
So it's impressive that he still performed on offense. He was tactically disciplined. And when Bayern Munich signed him, I don't know if many people know this, when they signed him, he was expected by the Bayern scouting team to be a new Boateng, a big defender. That's what the Bayern scouting team reported him as, a new Boateng,
Right.
which clearly he isn't, because Boateng never played as a right back. And
well, yeah. Maybe that's the playtime thing, because it's very hard to get in ahead of Lucas Hernandez, Alaba, Boateng himself, who's still technically in a lot of good form, and then you have Nicolas Jula. So it's harder to get into that center back position. But the right back position, although we just signed a new right back, I feel like Chris Richards is he's still considered for that position, unless there's something different there. But he can play center back. And one thing I would say about him playing center back, in his Bayern debut, which was like 15 minutes, he came on to play as a center back for Boateng. The thing is, his first action, he missed the header, but his pace, like he was so fast, he recovered. But that's one thing that I see developing in his game. That reading of the game, just those little moments. If he can fix those little moments, I can see a very, very good player.
And that should come with maturity over time.
Right,
so that's
maturity.
That time. Talent he has pace, which is a physical gift. He has that gift.
Right.
So now going to the final section of Chris Richards, maybe we'll expand and talk about other stuff. But about Chris Richards, it's pretty much what you're saying. He's a pacey player. He's versatile, can play right back and center back. And when I was talking to other Bayern fans and discussing this and having even debates about it, he is somewhat of a new Pavard for Bayern Munich. He's a Pavard. He can play right back. He can play center back. And the thing is, even in a certain way, Alaba too. I know Alaba is lefty, so don't pick me on that.
Yeah,
the thing with Alaba is he was a left back, and he was very skinny when he started. Remember that? Now he's kind of
built up. He was a midfielder. He started as a midfielder, but then he moved to left back. Yeah.
So the thing with Chris Richards is he's also still very skinny. I think he'll gain body weight over time, get stronger, and that's when I think Bayern might move him to a center back position, which you need that strength.
Right.
So he might start more as a right back for now, but eventually he can become a big time right center back for Bayern, because ideally you don't want to put Pavard there. Pavard should be the right back. You don't need to move him there. And I think Bayern's been playing Sule there too. Sule, whatever.
Right. Well, Pavard's been out of form for like 2 months. I mean, he's, it's like we're playing Among Us. They're two imposters. It's Alaba and Pavard. Both of them have been a fault for a lot. I mean, yesterday we conceded 1 goal from this Ritsu Dion guy, this Japanese winger, and it was just those two. It was just them defending like Phil Jones and Skodran Mustafi in the same defense.
Don't bring up Phil Jones. It makes me sick. You forgot I'm a Manchester United fan.
Yeah.
You want me to have something here? It's like I'm starting to.
It's the pink boots. It's the pink boots. No,
who are you going to bring up next? Harry Maguire?
Yeah, Harry Maguire, or some people call him Harry Beckenbauer. So, no, but what I'm trying to say is, I think he can definitely. I think he's a little bit more complete than Pavard going forward. I saw him; his crossing is really, really good against Herder, a very defensive, well, not defensive team, but a team that's well organized. He did very well, and to cope with that type of pressure and that type of game was very good. So I can see Pavard moving to center back instead, and then Chris Richards moves to be the right back. I can definitely see that scenario, but I don't think it'll happen anytime soon.
No, it's more of like I can see Chris Richards becoming he's obviously relevant to Bayern already, but I can see him becoming actually relevant to Bayern in two seasons or 3. Then becoming actually relevant to maybe even start. But to wrap up Chris Richards, what I think is, so giving him from 1 to 5 stars just on his potential of what he can be. 5 stars would be Messi, Ronaldo, top of the top.
Yeah.
I don't think he's anywhere near that. I don't think he'll ever be.
1 star would be Phil Jones and Harry Maguire.
Phil Jones Phil Jones will be like 0.5. Harry Maguire will be 0.75. 1 star would be Jesse Lingard.
Oh, so, 1 star.
He's a little better than them. But I think Chris Richards would be probably like a 3.5. That would be also below. That would be a little bit below a lot of maybe what some people think based on what I was saying about him. I think he's going to be a great starter, but not world class. He'll be a great starter, a great player for the U.S. national team, a starter.
That's fine. I don't think
for people to get a perspective, a 3.5, in my opinion, is like what Boateng is, what Pavard is. That's a 3.5. It's an amazing player.
Yeah.
Like 4 above would be players such as such as Varane, Sergio Ramos, like on defense, what I'm saying, 4 and above. So
Yeah.
they're still good players. That's my opinion on him. And I think he is to Bayern what Pavard and Alaba were. They're going to start as an open player, come in center back, maybe when he gains some weight. And I think he's going to also play center back for the U.S. men's national team because I think the right back will be Serginho Dest.
Yep. I think so too. So yeah, I agree. I agree with the start. I'd probably say 3. I think he'd be. I don't think he's going to be world class, like one of the best in the world.
Like Pulisic.
Yeah. No. I'll obviously make the propaganda, but I don't think he's going to be one of the greatest center backs in the world or of all time or something. But I do think he's going to be a very good player for Bayern, and you can have a lot of those. I don't see his level of ability being higher than Upamecano, or in our squad we have Tanguy Kouassi, who came from PSG, 18 years old, and I think he's a little bit farther in his development. You can see he has so much world-class talent in him. So Chris Richards is definitely just a little bit below that potential, and I agree with that 3.5. So where do you place him amongst the U.S. men's national team stars? Well, not stars, but just in terms of potential, because there are too many young players around.
Well, I think he's below Pulisic for sure. Pulisic is proven at this point. There's a lot for Pulisic to improve, but he's proven.
He scored 1 goal against Liverpool, and all of a sudden he's proven. He got benched by 17-year-old Sancho.
Look, Pulisic was amazing at Dortmund, went to Chelsea, was amazing last season. He was the best player of the season for Chelsea last year because Conte was injured.
Right.
And then when I go to potential, I think Giovanni Reina has more potential than Chris Richards, basically because of what he's showing with Dortmund already. He's being useful at age 17 to 18 already.
Yeah, but bro, that's what Dortmund do. They deceive you, right? Because they make you think, oh my God, this player's already so good, because they develop their players really quickly, right? Mm-hmm. Sancho right now, he's at a weird level. He's at a crazy level. They make you think, Ousmane Dembele is going to be the next Messi. They make you think these things. He's going to be the next Neymar. They make you think these things because of how quickly they develop. And then a few years later, Giovanni Reina, he's doing this thing, but he's not doing it at this level that everyone imagined. That's why I like Bayern's development better, because instead of just making players develop quickly, we actually take time. We develop their mentality. We make them just more, we make them a little bit more world-class, in my opinion.
But you want to see something? Giovanni Reina won't die off quickly, because what's going to happen is, let's say he's not as good as we think he'll become. But what's going to happen is, if like the teams in Europe are starting to want to get into the American market because of money.
Yeah. It's the biggest market in
America is
the
the biggest money market in the world, and it's easy to get in the football soccer market in the United States because there's not that many players. So pretty much nowadays, the players that you would sell a lot in the United States are Pulisic, Giovanni Reina, Serginho Dest at this point. So I feel like a big team will want to sign Reina and will try to overhype him and get him to play to get into the United States market. So let's say Reina is not as good, or he is as good. There will be a lot of patience with him. These teams will try to make him work. They'll want him to be successful more than any other player. Because if let's say Reina becomes, okay, I might be a little off the top here, but let's say he becomes a Ballon d'Or competitor, like a top 3 of the world.
Yeah, sure.
I know. Let's just say I'm just like I don't think
Ricardo Kaká.
Okay, let's put it that way. So let's say that happens. Whichever team has that will market the living crap out of him in the United States and make so much money off of that.
I mean, you're seeing it with CBS. I was watching the Champions League. They made Tyler Adams seem like he was Claude Makélélé. They made him sound like he was some Brazilian legend just because of that 1 goal against Atletico. They hyped him up.
Because
I get what you're talking about.
It's the U.S. market. They want to enter it. It's still raw, and the U.S. has too much money. It's how they'll make a lot of money. See it this way. If they can make that much money with European teams, imagine if these teams or these players enter the market that doesn't care about the sport.
Ooh,
it's so much money.
I mean, that's too much money, to be honest. Yeah, so I guess you're putting him below Pulisic, below Reina in terms of
Well, and
potential.
I put him below Serginho Dest too because Dest.
Oh hell no! Come on,
No,
he did a little.
you
He did a
wanted
little trick.
Serginho Dest. Okay, this channel's gonna be pissed off at me because you guys were this close to getting Serginho Dest. But see it this way: Serginho Dest was important there in Ajax. He didn't start, but he was doing well. He went to Barcelona, and he's getting minutes. He plays as a right back, left back. He's also versatile, and he's really good on offense. So I do put him a little behind Serginho Dest, but that's a little bit too because all of us, not just me, we have the tendency to rate offensive players higher than defensive players.
Exactly. Look at Van Dijk, for example. Now everyone wants to get a heart attack. Before it was Salah's our most important player. Mane's our most important player. They'll understand how important Van Dijk is, right? Because you can have all your Salahs, you can have all of them score all these goals, but if you don't have a big man at the back that defends and has all that pace and can stop anyone in the world, Van Dijk has Ronaldo in his pockets. I'm telling you.
You know what? Now that they have Adrian on goal and they don't have Van Dijk, they're gonna see how much they need Van Dijk.
Exactly. So defensive players are just as important as the attacking players because you look at Reina, you're like, 10 goal contributions in 2 games. So that makes you think, oh my goodness, he has so much potential. But maybe Chris Richards can be one of the best in the world. Now, I personally don't think he'll be, Franz Beckenbauer, Boateng level, but I do see a lot of great talent in him. I do see the pace, the physicality. He's also really good on the ball, a good passer too. The balls he slices in between the lines, I think those can be very dangerous. Yeah, so I think that's pretty much it.
Like I said, the same thing for Chris Richards. He's American, so he's marketable. They're going to want to sell him.
Easily. So that's why they want to invest too.
They will have patience. They will have patience with him.
Bayern really want. That's why we have a link up with FC Dallas. Is it FC? Yeah, FC Dallas. Mm-hmm. We're pretty much like partners with them. They're academy players.
He came from Dallas.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
We did. So we have an academy link up so that we could just get their best players if we can. The MLS, you see what's happening with Davies. This guy's our top 5 shirt sales. Shirt seller. Yeah, he's our top. He sells the most shirts.
Got a little tricky with the words there.
Yeah, not the most shirts, but he's in the top 5. So Bayern definitely want to get into that market. And for me, if Richard succeeds, he's a highly likable person. He could be huge. Yeah,
we're gonna see in the next year, and it seems like we're almost even off topic. So hopefully people are still enjoying this. But it almost seems like most teams within this decade, especially with the World Cup coming to the United States in 2026, they're gonna start to want to get Americans to get this market, the money.
Right.
Even if the player's not that good, they want to get this market.
It's a big market.
So it's kind of like, how they overhype British players and they make it seem like certain players like Harry Kane are world class, which they're not.
I think Harry Kane's world class, but I can get behind that. Yeah. So keep going.
Okay, I'm not even gonna get to Harry Kane, but just look at this. They put Calvert-Lewin on the 3 Lions, the English national team, and he did better than Harry Kane. So
right.
Despite that, they get British players and they overhype them. They want them to be like, they get Sterling and they want to point out Sterling as if he's like that Brazilian legend, like he's a new Neymar, Ronaldinho.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to see that a little bit with the American players because they're going to want to try to enter the market because it's such a rich market. And they do that to British players because the Premier League is overly watched and it has so much money.
They want to make these players like Rashford seem like they're Rivaldo. Ronaldinho to build
they
up.
They get any player that's fairly good because Rashford's a good player, and they make him seem like he's the new football legend.
Yeah,
and they're going to do that to Americans a lot.
Yeah. Oh shoot! I can't wait to know that Christian Pulisic was one of the greatest players of all time. If he scores one goal. All right. Well,
versus Southampton. Yeah. 1 goal versus Southampton.
All right. So everyone go subscribe to him. We'll make a video on your channel. I can't wait for that. It's going to be really interesting. But thank you everyone so much for watching this. Mia San Mia and peace.